Hi everybody, this is Judy at Judi in the Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to easily roast a butternut squash without any added oil. The first thing you want to do is wash your butternut squash really well, which I have already done with this. And then the simplest thing to do would be to cut off a little bit of the stem end here and then slice it down lengthwise. Now, as you can see, this thing is humongous. It takes two hands. I can't even reach all the way around it with both my hands. This thing is huge. So I'm probably going to have to cut this in a little unorthodox way. And I think I'm going to cut it across this way. And then we'll go from there once I get this thing cut. All right, as you can see, I actually managed to cut this thing. Now the next thing you want to do is take a strong spoon and just scrape out the seeds and the strings that are attached to those seeds. Now you can roast them like you would pumpkin seeds or toss them out. It's your choice on what to do with them. And then we'll get back once I have all of these seeds scraped out, and I'll show you two different ways that you can actually roast this with no added oil. Alright, this squash is as prepared as I'm going to make it. That's all we need to do is just cut it up into whatever size pieces you want. These are large, so they will take a while to roast. How long it takes is strictly going to depend upon how big your pieces are, how big your squash is. This is probably the biggest butternut squash I've ever seen in my life. Now, the oven is preheating to 400 degrees. You can go to 375 or 400. It'll caramelize a little bit more at the higher temperature, but because this one is so huge, I'm opting for the higher temperature so it won't take all day to roast. Now there's two different ways you can actually do this. You can do it in a glass pan, or you can do it on a baking tray lined with parchment paper. I'm going to do both so I can show you both results, because you have to treat the glass just a little bit differently. I'm not spraying this with any nonstick oil or spray. I am not putting any water in the pan, nothing like that. I'm just going ahead and putting the squash in there. I'm going to put one of each type of pieces, one from the top of the squash and one from the bottom. It's in the clean, dry pan. No oil, no spray, no water, just clean and dry. And on the parchment paper, same thing, no oil or anything else like that. So what we're going to do is get these in the oven as soon as it's preheated at 400. And again, you could do it at 375, it'd be just fine. But when we're partway into the baking, I'm going to take the glass tray out and I'm going to show you something that needs to be done to help keep it from sticking. Now when I put these in the oven, I set the timer for 20 minutes, and no, they're far from baked. But when you're dealing with the glass, they will tend to stick a little bit, and the way to prevent that is about 20 minutes or so into the baking time, just loosen them. They're just barely starting to stick, and this is the perfect time to just move them around a little bit, and that'll help to loosen them, because this is the point when they're starting to release their juices. And so that will help to keep them from sticking that much further. So now that that job is done, this goes back into the oven until they are tender. And how do you know? You take a knife and you poke it through there. And when that knife can poke through very comfortably, then you know your squash is done. Our butternut squash is roasted, and these are the ones that cooked on the parchment paper, and these are the ones that cooked on the glass, and you see they look pretty much the same. There is some darkening here, caramelization on the skin that occurs at the 400 degree level in the oven. If you baked them at 375, it wouldn't be quite as brown there. But you see that they come out just about the same. And they are very fork tender, and all you need to do is take a spoon and scrape away the flesh on the inside, and then you can prepare it any way that you would like. Well, I do hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions or comments below. This is Judi at Judi in the Kitchen. Bye for now.